hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie, and today I have 8 new Easter DIYs using supplies from the Dollar Tree. These are all pretty easy to put together, and I think they would go with anyone's Easter decor. So let's get started. We're going to use actually 2 of these wreath rings from the Dollar Tree. They're the really large 18-inch ones. And we're going to do kind of like a little nest Easter egg thing. I've seen people do this, so I thought I would try to give my take on one of these. Basically, you're just going to use it as a cage. So I turn it upside down. And then what I want to do is just fill it with greenery. I have some of this lamb's ear left over from Walmart. This was just like one long continuous piece I got at Walmart, and I've used it for many projects, hence why it's all like cut up, but we're just going to kind of piece it together and it's going to be totally fine. You could kind of use any kind of greenery you wanted. I've seen people do it with just Spanish moss, but I think the greenery really adds something to it, and I really like the feel of the lamb's ear. So we're just going to use Dollar Tree eggs, the little pastel speckled eggs. Super easy, right out of the box. You're not going to have to do anything to them. So I picked up 2 packages of these from Dollar Tree, and we're going to use almost all of them. I'm just matching colors and alternating the sides so they're like kind of directly across from each other. The blue and the like green are really kind of very similar. I'm going to end up using all except for the white. I just didn't need that many, and I just really like the feel of the pastels. But if you had less greenery, you could make it a little tighter in there. And it's so easy because we're just going to sandwich the eggs in side of a second wreath form from the Dollar Tree, and you're just using the cages to hold all of that in there, and it really gives you a cool little effect, and so easy just using the wreath forms. So on the second one, I'm just going to sit it right side up so the like concave surface is on the inside, and then attach it on there like that. So I'm just going to kind of line up the crossbars so it'll kind of make sense. And it's okay if some of the greenery pokes out. I think that looks really cool. And just kind of spacing out my eggs, making sure it's like fairly even. And then I just need to secure them. I thought the best way to secure the 2 cages together would just be some zip ties from Dollar Tree. So I don't want it to be real obvious though. So I'm going to go in and do like the middle row and just zip tie those 2 together. And I can always disguise that a little bit because we are going to fill this with Spanish moss as well. So I want it to be fairly secure, so I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side. Now when you're pulling it together, you want it to be tight enough to like keep the eggs in place, but not so tight that it like starts to like squish the eggs. Just a medium amount of pressure. And since it's so large and it's going to go outside, I'm going to go ahead and do the top and bottom too, just by doing that middle one. So a total of 4 zip ties is what I'm going to use. Just trying to work on my spacing before I get the last one in there, because after that it's going to be kind of hard to move them around. And you can do this with any of the eggs. They also have the gold ones from Dollar Tree, and then Target Dollar Spot has like the white speckled ones that kind of look like real eggs. That'd be pretty too. So I just cut off the rest of my zip ties, and I'm kind of tucking in my leaves a little bit just to kind of keep the shape, but I don't mind if they peek out a little bit. Now I want to fill it up to kind of make it look like a bird's nest. So I'm going to fill it up with just Spanish moss from the Dollar Tree. I just used 1 package and just kind of pulling out like a little section at a time and working it in the section in between the little Easter eggs. And you can kind of use that there. I'm kind of wrapping it around that zip tie. It helps to kind of disguise that too. I'm just trying to fill up like any of the empty space in there. And it really gave it a cool like nest-like feel. My son was a big fan of this project. He really liked it. And it was so easy. I mean, think about how much work a wreath can be. And just using like the empty wreath cages is a win-win. So one package of that Spanish moss is plenty. I'm just going to go ahead and use the whole thing. And it is going to make a little bit of mess on your work surface, so be aware. Now, I kind of wanted it to have like something hanging down in between, and I thought one of those little wooden bunnies from the Dollar Tree would be perfect. It's just the right size. These are just the white ones that they have, which would be really cute if you had like a colored front door. But I have a white front door, so I kind of need my little bunny to be a color. So I'm going to paint mine Caribbean blue, which is just an acrylic paint. Just another pastel color. This goes great with Easter, but it also goes with my coastal beachy decor in my house. I have a lot of blue. And so I'm just going to go over it with one thin coat. And it actually allowed some of that white to peek through. And it kind of gave it a little bit of a distressed feel. So just a very thin coat. Super cute. I'm not going to decorate him any more with any other paint colors, but I thought it would be cute if he had a little bunny tail. So I'm just going to use a little pom-pom. I think I got this at the Target dollar spot. You can use whatever you've got. I know Dollar Tree has like pink ones like this and little craft stuff, and you could use, these are the pink ones. You could also use like the little snowballs. They have all different kinds of options. But I kind of like the pom-pom feel, and I kind of like the blue and the white. Goes with my colors. And so I'm just going to attach that to the bunny bum with hot glue. And that's really the only decor I'm going to do on there. You know, if you wanted to put your last name or something on there, that could be really cute as well. I'm just going to take some twine now, tying that off in the front of my little bunny. And then I'm just going to cut that twine and then string it up through the top of my wreath. So it's just going to kind of hang in there, but kind of going through in the middle so it's not too obvious. And then going back down through so like it is like attached to the top rail of it, and then tie that back off on the bunny. Just a really simple hanger, and it hung in there perfectly. It's just the right size. Now I wanted to do a bow too to make it nice and festive for Easter, and I'm going to use some of this light blue Easter ribbon they have from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to make a nice simple bow. It's nice and thick, and it's two-sided so you don't have to do any twisting. I just do 2 hoops on each side, measuring out a tail, cutting that down to size, and then just using a zip tie to make an easy peasy bow. This isn't like really wired very much, but I think it's big enough. It keeps its shape pretty well. So then I'm just going to pull down my second tail and fluff up this bow the best that we can. I thought a nice festive bow would look cute. I kind of wanted to do the bow on the top, but I felt like it kind of took away from the bunny ears. And so I'm actually going to hang this on the bottom. I'm just going to simply dovetail the ends of our bow. And that's what it looks like on top. That's what it looks like on the bottom. So we're just going to attach it on there with just a little bit of twine going across that wire hanger in the middle and just simply tying it on. Now I was trying to decide what I wanted to decorate that with more. You could use like Easter egg, any of the little wood cutouts from the Dollar Tree would be really cute on there as well. I kind of wanted like a nest feel. And I did have a little bird's nest left over just from, I have no idea where I got this, but it'd probably be pretty easy to make with Spanish moss if you were to wind it in a circle like that and you had some little eggs to put in there. I thought that would be cute though. So I'm just going to hot glue that in the center of the bow to finish off this cute little Easter wreath. It's really a nice size wreath, and I think this is going to look really cute on my front door for Easter. So just making sure my hot glue is dry because that nest is a little bit larger than something I would normally glue on there. So I am going to reinforce it with a little bit more hot glue, and that's all there is to this DIY. I really like all the pastel colors. I think they're so pretty for spring. And this is how it looks hanging on my door. I think it's just really sweet. I love the pastels. I like the bird's nest, and I like the addition of the greenery in there as well. I think that just adds a little bit more Easter charm. Okay, our next DIY is going to be really easy. I picked up one of these bicycle wreath forms from the Dollar Tree, and I was trying to think of some way to like kind of replicate like a bicycle tire around it because it's just the frame, there's no tire. And so I picked up one of these little steering wheel covers from the automotive section at Dollar Tree, and I thought a steering wheel is about the same size, so I thought this could work. And so I'm just going to simply slide it on the edges. And at first I was thinking it was not going to be large enough to go all the way around it, but it was actually the perfect size. Just pull it tight and pull it around. And I got the white one because I thought that would look like a little white bicycle tire for like a little coastal Easter bike. And it worked perfect. How easy was that? We have a little bike tire. And then I found a really cute Easter sign that I want to put on the front, but I want to do a little greenery as well. I picked this up at the Target dollar spot for $5 the other day. It's like that same like lamb's ear, but it's already got greenery. It's got pastel Easter eggs on it. It's all wired and ready to go. For $5, I could not resist. It's on there pretty good and tight, but basically I'm just going to use this entire garland to wrap it around there, and you could kind of use whatever you've got, but I think that it added a little extra something special to it. I'm going to try to see how much I can cover here. I just kind of wire it on. I end up not doing that, going around it like that, but I'm just kind of measuring out to see if one row was enough, but I kind of thought that I needed to use all of it. Kind of like that. So we're going to go with that, easy peasy. I am going to cut it in half just to make it easier to attach it. So I just cut the wire. And then I'm just going to wire this to itself to create one ring. It might be easier to just wrap that around than to trim it, but I did trim that one down. And then I'm going to do the same thing here with the second one. That way I could put the eggs exactly where I wanted them, because there was one section of the tire that I really didn't want eggs because I want to put a Dollar Tree sign there. So I'm going to kind of work with it until it looks just like I like it. So the section there on the bottom right doesn't really have any eggs, so that's going to be perfect. Now I'm just going to tie the two wreaths together with some twine, and then I'm also going to just string that and tie that around our little faux bicycle tire. And then I'm also going to use that just to make a hanger just by tying a knot in the end. It's going to attach the greenery on there, and it serves as a wreath hanger. Now you could use this as a wreath or just a wall hanging. I think I'm just going to use mine as a wall hanging, but I thought it was a little fun touch. I always like bicycles for spring. So that's what we have so far. And then check out this cute little bunny, a bicycle Easter sign that I got at Dollar Tree the other day. It's riding like a little blue bicycle with Easter eggs in its basket, baby bunnies, got a carrot on there. I just take the hanger off. I'm also going to take off the little hanging Happy Easter sign that was hanging below it. I just really want the bicycle. And it's a little large to attach to this, but I think we can make it work. Just kind of putting it to the bottom and to the right. I don't want to cover up like the shape of the bicycle wheel in there. I want you to be able to see that so you can tell what it is. Otherwise, I would probably put it like right in the center. So to attach it, it's pretty lightweight. I'm just going to use hot glue and attach it to the steering wheel cover just by hot gluing both ends of the bike on there. And this DIY was just really easy to put together. I think that's all it needs. I'm going to add a little bit more hot glue under there to secure it. But I love the feel of that, and I love that garland from the Target Dollar Spot. So fun. And my steering wheel cover idea was a success. You never know what you're going to find wandering around Dollar Tree. And let me show you how this cute little bike wheel, little wreath turned out. So cute. Again, we have the pastel colors, but it's completely different feel than the first Easter wreath that we did. And I love that little bunny riding the bicycle. I love that. It's so cute. Okay, our next DIY, I'm going to use one of these little galvanized metal buckets that they have all the time at Dollar Tree. And I thought we could make a little carrot bucket, like little greenery plant, right? So the handle is kind of in my way, and I did not really want to remove it. So to kind of deal with it, I'm just going to wrap it in twine. This is that thicker twine from Walmart. You could kind of use whatever you want. In the end, you're not going to be able to see this too much, but I wanted it to be decorative in case you could see it. I want to make like a carrot pot and have greenery in the middle to make it look kind of like a carrot plant. Just kind of a little greenery display. It's not really a floral display. And so I'm just going to wind that all the way around the little metal handle until I get to the other end. I found that I could go around it like 3 or 4 times and then pull the tail loose without hitting too much resistance. I think I cut my twine a little bit longer than needed, which probably made it a little bit harder than it needed to be. And so I do start trimming it once I start getting to the end, realizing that I have more than enough twine. I always like cutting it longer though, because you don't want to run out for sure. But basically, I'm just trying to wrap it so tight that you can't even see the little metal in there. And we're going to rig this where it's going to stand straight up, so it's not going to get in any of the way of the carrots. So I keep wrapping until I get to the very other end, and then I'm just going to tie it off like I did on the other end. No glue or anything for this, just tying it on both sides and then cutting off the excess twine. Now, the carrots I'm going to use are the little string wrapped carrots from the Dollar Tree. They have these in the small, these are kind of like the medium size ones. And I thought it'd be really cute to line the little bucket with the carrots on the outside. So I'm going to start at the side, and I'm going to sandwich that handle in between 2 of the carrots, just going to stand them straight up, making sure they're not so long that they're going to interfere with this thing standing on its bottom. And see, when I sandwich the 2 there, it makes the handle stay up and kind of keeps the handle out of the way. But if you had a pot this small that didn't have the handle, that would work really great as well. I wanted something a little bit smaller than the carrot, and so the carrot was kind of the star of the show. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing here on the other handle, putting 2 more carrots on this side. And just simply hot gluing those onto the side of the bucket, it was really easy to attach these. And then I'm just going to continue those little string wrapped carrots all the way around. I kind of measure out, I can fit 4 more. So let's see, that's a total of 12 carrots, I think, we're going to use to go all the way around. this size little bucket. And if you couldn't find a galvanized metal one, you could always use a colored one as well. Sometimes they have like the mint green ones or other colors that are kind of monochromatic. They'd be fine too, because you're not going to be able to see very much. But I like the galvanized metal. So I got that side complete. Now I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side by gluing the other 4 carrots. And they almost fit perfectly. There is a tiny space in between. So I'm just trying to kind of space those out a little bit. And we have our little carrot bucket. This was so easy and it turned out just so cute. Now it's time to fill it. Isn't it cute? I love that idea. And I have one of those little foam greenery circles from the Dollar Tree. I love buying these for these little buckets from the Dollar Tree because they fit in there absolutely perfect. So just going to slide that in through the handle. And normally I would cover that up with moss or something, but the greenery that we're going to use is about the same color, so I didn't think it would really matter. I'm going to use some of this foliage that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I think it really looked like the top of like a carrot plant. I thought for a second about cutting what was on the carrots off, but I kind of like it as is, so I left those all alone. I'm going to use a total of 2 of these little greenery plants. They're just called foliage. But I'm going to cut them all apart first using some of those floral scissors from the Dollar Tree to make it easier to arrange. So the hardest part is just getting that tag off. And then we're just going to start building this out. I was a little worried about that green foam, but in the end, it really did just all blend together. Greens and greens. So I'm just going to go all the way around the edges. That was how far one group of the foliage got me. And I was originally going to use 3, but 2 was plenty to fill this up. Once I go all the way around the edges, I'm just going to use the remaining pieces to fill in the inside. And just kind of arranging it and making sure that it looks nice. I liked the fact that I didn't really have to cut them down in size very much. They fit in there just perfectly. And let me show you how this cute little carrot basket turned out. I guess it's called a carrot plant. I think it looks so fun for Easter. And here's how it turned out. Isn't it cute? I'm really loving that idea. And you could use that like on a basket as well. If you wanted to use like a shorter basket with like the smaller carrots, that would be really cute as well. Okay, the next DIY, I'm going to use a long piece of foam that I picked up at Dollar Tree. And I thought it would be really fun to try to make a carrot gnome. I thought a carrot is like the shape of a gnome hat or a gonk, and so I thought we could try it, right? And the foam I thought would be just the right size. It's going to serve a couple purposes, you'll see. I just measured about halfway down the center, and then using a ruler, I am just kind of carving a line in the foam with my pen, so I'll know exactly where to cut it. Now, this is one of the little pool noodle knives from the Dollar Tree, but you can kind of use whatever you have, but this did work pretty well. And we're just going to saw this down into a triangle. When I first thought about making a carrot gnome, I was going to use, I have some of those wreath forms with the witch's hat left over from Halloween. But in the end, I decided this would work better, and I wanted to give you an option that was something that was being sold at the stores. And, you know, not everybody's going to have a witch hat like laying around. So I carved that down, and we have our little carrot. Now I need to cover it with fabric, and I picked up some of this felt from the Dollar Tree, and they have a nice bright orange piece in there that I think is going to be just perfect. I kind of thought about using some orange burlap to wrap around there, but I thought this might be the easiest route. So it's just the right length to cover it, and I want to be able to cover the sides of the carrot as well. And you can see that greenery off to the side that we just used in the last carrot DIY. We're going to use that to actually make the gnome beard. And this just turned out so cute. So I flipped it over and I used hot glue to attach that to the back. But you know how hot glue and foam reacts? It really kind of melts it poorly. So I thought I had it attached, and then it like started popping back off. So my trick usually to hot glue to foam is just to use Dollar Tree masking tape. And that's what I switch to after I do finally get this glued down. It just works way better, and then it prevents the foam from being melted. So the other side, I'm going to tape that down. And painter's tape could probably work the same as this. And I'm going to wrap that around just by hot gluing that to the tape. I do have a little bit of excess fabric, but no big deal. Once I get it glued down to the back, I can just trim that off. And that sheet of felt was just about the perfect size. So I cut off that little triangle there. And we have our little carrot. I'm going to cut off the 2 corners on the bottom. Now, the top part, you could still kind of see the foam through there. So I just trimmed off the very end. And I do have a few, little tiny scrap pieces of that felt. And so I just cut down a little piece and just kind of sandwiched it in there, just to kind of cover that exposed foam. Now it's time to make the beard. So we're going to use that same foliage. I think this really looks like a carrot. So I want the gnome to look like an upside down carrot. I want the carrot greens to be its beard and the carrot to be his hat. And it actually was so easy to put this together, and it just turned out so cute. So again, I'm just cutting all of that greenery off. I'm going to use 2 for this one as well. And just cutting them down. Trying to get brave and cutting more than once. And now it's time to build the beard. And this is where the foam comes in handy, because you can just stick it right into the foam to start building the beard. I'm going to kind of do a back row first, just kind of spacing those out and sliding those into the foam. If you didn't have foam, you could always make this with foam board as well, but you would need to be like gluing these down to the back of it. So I thought the foam would make it easier, and I really liked how easy this was. I just used the remaining pieces to kind of do the front of the beard. Not as many pieces on the front, but I think 2 of those little floral arrangements are plenty of that greenery. So we've got the hat, we've got the beard. Now we need a nose. I was thinking first about using an Easter egg, but I really kind of wanted a round, normal, like little gonk nose. So I'm just going to use a wood bead that I have. I get those larger ones like that on Amazon, and they're always available in my shop below. I'm just going to leave it like the natural wood. There's so many options that you could use for a nose. You could use a knob, anything kind of round. Circular. I'm just going to hot glue that to the greenery right there in front of the hat, and then to kind of do like a brim of the hat to kind of seal up the bottom of the carrot and go over the nose a tiny bit. I thought some of this green mesh ribbon from the Dollar Tree would be perfect. You guys see me use this all the time for like a fishing net thing, but I thought the green would be really cute for spring. So I just cut a piece down to size. I'm going to kind of fold it in half and double it up. So you're going to kind of be able to see through it, but I think that's fine. And then I'm just going to have to tape the back because, again, we're going to hot glue to that foam again. I don't want that to melt or be difficult. And then just wrap that around, hot gluing that to the back. Super easy, and it kind of, gives you a nice little brim, but it also kind of goes with the greenery feel of the beard. Now I want to make a hanger for the back, and so I'm just going to use a little piece of Dollar Tree twine. Simply going to loop it and knot the end to make a little hanger that we can attach to the back of our carrot. This would be really cute too if you wanted to do it on a bigger scale for like a front door wreath. So I just attached that to the felt with hot glue. And I love him. He's so cute. I did go ask my son what he needed, and he said it needs lines like a carrot. The carrot has like the little stringy looking lines all over it when it's fresh from the garden. And I thought, oh, I could really replicate that with some of that Dollar Tree twine that we used for the hanger, just by gluing it to the back and simply wrapping it around my carrot. It provided a little bit of detail, and it probably is going to actually help keep that felt on there as well. Just kind of spacing that out. The last piece I kind of feed it through that green ribbon that we have so I can kind of get it all the way to the edge. I think that was the perfect final touch. I'm going to hot glue that to the back of that masking tape back there. And that's all there is to this little carrot gnome DIY. I absolutely love this little guy. He's so cute. I got the idea for this because I had made something kind of similar in the fall with leaves, like leaves as a beard. And I was trying to think, what could make a cute gnome? And I was like, a carrot. A carrot's perfect. So it really kind of looks like an upside down carrot. So fun and whimsical. So this is how it looks hanging in my home for Easter. Isn't he cute? I just absolutely love that idea. I hope you do too. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about my private Facebook group and page. I have them both linked below. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest, and I'm at Crafty Beach on YouTube, and I would love it if you would come follow me over there. Okay, more Easter DIYs. I wanted to make kind of an Easter egg topiary. And I got one of these little buckets at the end of Christmas, actually after Christmas. I never saw them during Christmas, but it's just a galvanized metal bucket that was just the size I wanted, but it did say hope on it. And I just wanted to remove that to kind of make it plain. So I'm just using fingernail polish remover. At first, I didn't think it was going to come off. It was kind of resisting a little bit because I think it was a little bit sealed. But with a little elbow grease, a paper towel, and some fingernail polish remover, I was able to get all of that paint off of there. And what I want to do is I want to make a topiary tree that has like eggs on it that kind of looks like a nest feel. And I kind of wanted to make it coastal to kind of go with my colors. So if you saw any of my Valentine's Day glam DIYs, I used the little flexible cutting mats from the Dollar Tree to make Valentine's Day trees. And so I'm going to kind of do something similar with one. So I just put rocks in the bottom of that just to weigh it down. And this is the green mat from the Dollar Tree. Totally doesn't matter if yours is clear or green. I just had a green one. It goes with my color scheme. So I just roll it simply into the shape of a cone. And I kind of see if it's going to fit in there, and it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to hot glue the tip down. It's just a really inexpensive way to get a cone shape because you get 2 of these in a package for $1.25. And I love that this color is perfect. That was a win-win. So you're kind of left with this end here that you need to trim. So I just cut off that corner and it fits in there just fine. I put the pebbles in there. You could put anything in there. I just like my arrangements like this to be stable, and I don't want it to be tipping over anything. So you could kind of just put it in there by gravity. I thought I would put a little hot glue in there to kind of keep it in place. And then we can start building this little Easter egg topiary. I think it's called a topiary, right? I think it is. Let me know in the comments below. So I have it in there, and now we can start decorating it with Easter eggs. Again, I'm just going to use these little speckled eggs that you get at Dollar Tree to make it super easy. No painting or speckling these eggs, making a big mess. But I did want mine to have a coastal feel, and so I'm going to try to pick out coastal colors that's going to go good with my decor. But if you wanted yours to be pastels, you could use all the colors. So easy. I thought I would just use blue, the green, mint green, and the white. So I'm just going through several packages and picking out those colors, and we can just start building. Since we have that plastic cutting mat, I thought the plastic eggs would glue on there just fine. And so I just start gluing them on. And I'm just gonna kind of continue gluing the Easter eggs all around the cone shape, just kind of in a random pattern, kind of alternating the colors as I go. And I'm kind of doing them all upright, but kind of tilting them randomly as well. I figured you probably couldn't see it very well at that angle, so I decided to try to hold it like this for you guys. And as you can see, like if I don't have any of that color around it, I pick that color of egg and just kind of keep building, kind of random, wherever it's going to fit. And we're going to go back and fill in the rest of it with Spanish moss from the Dollar Tree, so it's going to look nice and full. You could also do this with reindeer moss. That might be really pretty too. I kind of wanted the nesty feel that we had on that Easter egg wreath that we made at the beginning. So I ended up using a total of 4 packages, but again, I only used 3 eggs out of each package. Actually, even less. I think I had a white left over. But I think that's pretty good coverage for my little topiary tree. So this is the Spanish moss that we're going to use from the Dollar Tree as well. And I found what worked best for this was just to kind of grab a bunch, and it kind of strings out like kind of naturally, and you can just start stringing that around. We're going to start at the very top of my cone. So I'm just going to put a little hot glue along the top and glue that down. Be careful if you're using hot glue like this, not to burn yourself. It can get a little squirrely when you're working with this, but I wrapped it around the little blue Easter egg, and then I'm just going to keep wrapping it around the eggs until like all of the space in between them is filled with moss. If I need to trim it down like that, then I do. I don't want too much, just enough to fill all that in. So I'm going to keep working my way down. And I love the colors on this. This turned out so cute. My family was a big fan of this. It really goes with the coastal vibe of my house. And it looks really cute for Easter. It almost looks like, you know, like robin eggs, like in a nest, but built into a cute little topiary. If you were to use reindeer moss, you could get like the same look with pastels with like a green moss. I don't know if it would string together quite as well as this, but that would be really cute. You could do some little flowers in there as well if you wanted to do that root. And I just keep working. That's about how far one package went. I do think I did have to open another package here at the end and just use a little bit just to make sure that I got it really good and full. I found that the hot glue was so hot that I was having to use a tool to kind of push it down in there because sometimes you could even burn yourself through those little finger protectors from the Dollar Tree. I know at least my hot glue gun is like extremely hot. So I did open another package just to make sure that it was completely full, but I didn't use very much out of the second package. And you could use like the bucket that we used for the carrot thing. You could use any kind of like little tiny flower pots that you wanted for this, or you could even make yours bigger, like a bigger scale. So I got it all glued down. Now I'm just going to give it a quick trim, just to kind of shape it up a little bit and kind of cut off any wild pieces that are sticking out in any direction. And again, just like the wreath before, put something down because it's going to kind of definitely make a mess working with this stuff. Or it could be a good outdoor project as well. With my wireless hot gun, you can kind of take stuff outside if you want to. So just giving it a quick trim. I really liked it like that. I love the colors. I love the galvanized metal. I thought though that I could add one more little coastal touch by adding just a little bit of burlap to that galvanized metal bucket. So I'm just going to use some Dollar Tree burlap ribbon and just cut a piece off to size. There's not a lot of slope on this pot, so it's easy to just circle that around there and glue it to itself. So I'm just trying to find my back, even though both sides of it looked pretty good. And I'm just going to hot glue that tightly around the back of it. I'm not going to decorate it any more than that, but you totally could if you wanted to. But I just love this. Isn't this cute for Easter? If you were to buy this, it would definitely cost quite a bit. Here it is, our little egg topiary in coastal beachy blue colors. It's so fun, and it would be really cute in the pastel colors as well, like we did the wreath before. Okay, the next DIY, I thought we could take some of these little terracotta pots from the Dollar Tree. They're so cute. You get 2 in a package, and a little tinsel bunny head from the Dollar Tree. And I thought we could make a little topiary bunny head for Easter. So I don't really want my pot to be that terracotta color. Even though it is a pastel color, you could totally get away with that for Easter. I want mine to be blue. So I'm just going to go over it with a thin coat of Caribbean blue all over, just to kind of give me that coastal vibe. Super easy. I'm not going to paint like the inside or the bottom, just basically anywhere that you can see it. And then I thought we would cover that little tinsel bunny rabbit with moss all over. I've used those tinsel items before from the Dollar Tree, where I've tried to paint the tinsel green to make them look kind of mossy. And it kind of depends on, you have to get like a perfect color of green, and I don't think it looks too convincing. And so I'm not going to go that route. I'm just going to use reindeer moss from the Dollar Tree and attach that to it. And a lot of times I take the tinsel off before I DIY one of these little bunnies or one of these little tinsel structures from the Dollar Tree. But I thought it would be easier to have all this tinsel to glue that moss to. And so I'm just going to leave it on there. But I do want to get like the hanger, the mouth, the nose, the eyes all off. The eyes are probably the hardest to get off. I just kind of cut them off. And then the little bunny ears that they had on there are just made out of paper. So those are really easy. But it's the perfect size, I think, for that pot. And I think it's going to make a really cute little topiary. So that's what we're starting with. And then this is the reindeer moss from the Dollar Tree. I always try to make sure this is kind of a little bit damp when I buy it, because it makes it easier to work with, and I think it looks nicer. One of you guys said that you could always spray it with a spray bottle as well before you start working with it, and that is a great idea. So just going to start working one section at a time. I'm just going to put down a little bit of hot glue and moss and glue that down. Basically, this was probably the most time-consuming project that we did today, just because I have to cover the entire bunny with moss. But it was still really easy if you think about it, because we're just gluing moss to a bunny and putting it into a pot. So I think all of these DIYs today were really pretty simple, really fun to DIY. So I'm just kind of concentrating on one ear and gluing on the front of the ear, the sides of the ear, and the back. When I pick up a piece of moss, the bigger the piece that you can get, the better, and kind of a thin piece so you can kind of just lay that out and shape it down to size. So we're going to speed this way up and glue the second ear. I want it to be like super cute from the front and the back, but I don't really want any of that white tinsel to show through. I wonder if it would be easier to cover the white tinsel if I were to have painted it first. Then it would kind of blend in a little bit better, because I did find that I was struggling with the little white holes of tinsel like peeking through. I didn't want to see any of that in the final product. So we got both sides of the ears filled, and now we just need to cover like the bunny's face and the back of the bunny's head with moss. That section was probably a little bit easier. And one package got me pretty far on that bunny, and I had to open up a second package to do the other side of his face. So once you get it on there, you'll be able to see if you still have areas to cover, like the sides are going to still need to be covered anywhere that you see any of the white shining through. And as you kind of get it glued down, you can pull off any of the excess moss, but don't get too crazy with it because then you're going to be able to see the tinsel through it. Just trying to get it as full as I can. And then once I get it all glued on there, I'm just going to go in there with my scissors and give it a very quick haircut. Trying not to cut it so short that you can see the tinsel underneath of it, because the tinsel is a little bit long, so there was a little bit to cover there. But it did work out pretty cute. And I love the look of the little topiary bunny head. I think it's so fun for Easter. So we got it all covered. Now, again, our little terracotta pot from the Dollar Tree. I thought we would just weigh it down, just with some pebbles. I have some pebbles from the Dollar Tree, but you can use whatever you have. Sometimes I go out in my landscaping and steal my lava rock. The Dollar Tree rocks are probably cheaper. And then I needed something to glue the bunny head to kind of stick it down in there. So I just picked a piece of floral foam from the Dollar Tree and just kind of trimming it down where it will fit in there, but it's not too high. Just to kind of space that out. And then I'm going to cover that section with some more of that reindeer moss, not Spanish moss. So it'll look like the pot is overflowing with the moss, with the little moss bunny head sitting right on top. So you could use you're using the foam, you could use a post down in there, but I just used hot glue, and I just hot glued both the head and the top of that foam piece covered in moss, and it actually worked pretty well just to glue that on there. And it's not glued to the pot or anything at all, so I could always remove it if I needed to after Easter, and this is how it turned out. Our little topiary, isn't it cute? I thought the pot was a little plain, so I thought I could dress it up with a little trim, and they have the cutest trim at the Dollar Tree this year. They have bunnies, chicks. This one is the carrots. It's a little orange trim pack, and it had this adorable little Easter bunny ribbon. I thought that would be the perfect decoration for my pot, and it would bring in a little bit of color and a little bit of carrots. So I'm just going to cut that ribbon down to size. It's kind of neat, those trim packs. They have the zigzag, they have the decorative ribbon, and then they also have the little pom-pom garland on there as well. I picked those up in pink, yellow, and orange. And so I'm just going to hot glue that ribbon to the front, or the back, I guess, and string that around and hot glue the other end to the back as well. And that's pretty much the only decoration we're going to do for the pot. I think he's now perfect. So cute. Let me show you what he looks like sitting in my house for Easter. Isn't he cute? I love that mossy feel, especially for spring DIYs. So fun. Okay, the next DIY is going to be super easy. I thought we would make a really cute, easy little Easter sign using one of these new wood signs they have at the Dollar Tree. This is the whitish one. You could use any of them though. It's just the right size for this DIY. I picked up some of these little, they kind of look like little peep bunnies, headbands from the Dollar Tree, and I just took them off. Now, I did find that the little springy that is attached between the tail and the little felt bunny was really on there. I thought it would be easy to kind of pull that off. A lot of times Dollar Tree items are easy to dismantle, but this one was really surprisingly in there. But I really need to get it off. So I tried cutting it off. That did not really work. And so I did end up having to use pliers to go in there and kind of pull it out. and I finally got it out. But I wanted to use 3 of these, like in different pastel colors, to do like a blue bunny, a pink bunny, and a purple bunny, the pastel colors. But I'm going to kind of put mine face down with a little bunny tail sticking out in front. I think that looks really cute. Now, if you didn't want to do the headband root, they also have these available in like a little plaid bunny. I'll show you here in a second. Just about the same size, that would work as well. And it might be a little easier because, as you can see, I completely even pulled off the bunny tail on that one. I cannot believe how well they were glued on. I guess they didn't want these things to fall apart. But I'm just going to use 3 of them, so I'll have 3 left over for another DIY later. And I thought they looked really cute side by side like that. We could make a really cute, simple little Easter sign. So I also picked up a wood word to put over to the right at the Dollar Tree. These come 3 to a package. This one says hop, and it has a little bunny on there. So I thought that would be perfect. I do kind of want to make that a pastel color as well. And since we had the pastel blue, the pastel pink, the pastel lavender, I thought we could do like a mint green color, but I didn't really have that color. So I'm just going to mix a couple of colors together, blues and greens, to try to get that mint green color. And that looks pretty close to what I was wanting. And so I'm just using a little makeup sponge and painting that on the front. Just a simple way to paint these without getting any paint on the sides. And I think that's going to be a nice color that's going to go with that pastel color scheme we're going with the sign. I love like the wood frame on the sign. I think that's perfect. And these are just the cutest little signs because they're already blank and you can DIY them any way you want. So I'm just going to hot glue our little hop over here once I get it fairly dry. And then we can just attach our little Easter bunnies. I think these kind of look like little peep bunnies. They're so cute. So this one I'm going to have to glue the tail back on. I didn't do too much damage back there though when I pulled it off. Just a fun little sign and absolutely so easy to put this together. And time for the little blue one. Now, I was thinking I didn't really want to cover up the frame because I think the frame looks really cute, but I thought it needed a little bit more color for Easter, so I thought we would just replace the hanger. I picked up some of these wood bead garlands at the Dollar Tree, and the colors are almost perfect. There's like a purple, a pink, a blue, pretty close to what we're using, and so I thought we could just switch out the hanger with that. Now, they also have these pastel colored wood beads available at Dollar Tree in a package. If you can't find this one, you could always string your own on twine fairly easy. So I just cut off the tassel and I just take a couple beads off until I can have enough twine where I can just knot that so I'll have something to attach to the back of my sign. And then using the existing hanger that was on there before, I'm just measuring out about how long I need it to be. And then I'm going to cut that twine as well. So I have enough room to make a little knot here. I'm going to staple mine to the back like they had stapled theirs. Because the frame is there, it's actually thick enough for me to use my staple gun. And so I just staple the little knots on there. Easy peasy. And this like really added, I think, that final touch of color that I was looking for an Easter sign. It really goes with my decor, and I love the pastel vibe. And let me show you how this looks. I'm going to hang this on the side of my kitchen cabinet for Easter. And I think it looks so springy and fun. The wood bead on the hanger, I think, definitely made the difference and made everything go together so well. So cute and easy. Hey guys, check these out. Dollar Tree has Easter pillowcases just like they had pillowcases for Christmas. Do you remember the cute ones they had for Christmas? They're really high quality. They have little zippers on the bottom. You can add your own pillow in there. I got both kinds. They had pink ones, they had blue ones. They have the little silhouette of a bunny on them. And they're that like buffalo check. The back is like this great like burlap material. I love these and they're so easy. For Christmas, I used some of these outside as well on my bench, and they held up great in the weather. But you could also use them on your sofa or anywhere. This is what one of the Christmas ones look like. And inside there, I used the little $5 pillows from the Dollar General. They fit in there perfectly, or you could use whatever you have. And I don't even know if this is considered a DIY, because basically you just put your own pillow in there. Super easy. There's a few wrinkles in there, but you don't have to worry about them. They work their way out fairly quick. Now, since it was like the back of the bunny, they have their little tail like part being cut out. And I thought it would be even cuter to add a little bunny tail to mine. So I'm going to DIY mine a little bit. I had another one of those white pom-poms from the Target dollar spot. I'm just going to cut off the string and glue that on. And look how cute that is. I mean, seriously, that pillow cover for $1.25 is a great deal. So I don't know how much of a DIY it is, more of a Dollar Tree find, but I did DIY it a tiny bit by adding that cute little bunny tail on there. But if you're going to be using it a lot, you might not want the bunny tail on there. It might get in the way, but I thought it would be cute detail. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you that I've just launched memberships on my channel. For $4.99 a month, you can support my channel. You're going to get early access to all my videos and a bunch of perks for you as well. I would really appreciate it. Okay guys, it's time for the final reveal. Don't forget to like, comment your favorite Easter DIY below, and don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers.
What you're putting in, all your hopes and efforts are all in vain. Who will pick you up when you've lost everything? Does it all become for granted with a wedding ring? Things must be conscious. Different things in different ways. There must be more to the reason why we do it all for love. There must be more for a reason, and a little bit of faith has got to come my way. Has got to come my
Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like more Crafty Beach YouTube things that you might like this video, right here.